Do you know what makes a woman truly smart? It is not the degrees she holds, the titles she earns, or even the applause she receives. The secret of a smart woman lies much deeper. It is the way she carries herself when the world misunderstands her, the way she walks with grace even when the path is rocky, and the way she surrenders her worries to God yet never surrenders her dreams. A smart woman is not loud, but her silence speaks wisdom. She is not perfect, but her choices make her powerful. And the beauty of her life is not just in what the world sees, but in what only God knows about her strength, her patience, and her unshakable faith. When we look around at the world today, we notice one thing. It is full of noise. Not just the noise of traffic, markets, or technology, but the noise of opinions, criticism, gossip, and endless comparison. Everywhere you go, someone has something to say about your choices, your actions, your dreams. And in that noise, it becomes very easy to lose yourself, to get dragged into unnecessary battles, to spend your energy proving, defending, and explaining. But a smart woman, a truly wise woman, knows something that many people forget. Peace is far more powerful than noise. Imagine this for a moment. You are walking in a busy market, people are shouting prices, music is playing from the shops, cars are honking outside, and suddenly, in the middle of it all, you find a small quiet corner, just a little bench under a tree, where the world's noise cannot reach you. That moment of silence feels more powerful, more refreshing than all the loudness around. That is exactly how the life of a smart woman looks. She doesn't allow herself to be lost in the noise of the world. She creates her own peace, her own corner, her own calm. A smart woman does not waste her time reacting to every voice around her. She knows that people will always talk. If she succeeds, some will applaud and others will envy. If she makes a mistake, some will advise and others will mock. If she dares to dream big, some will support and others will discourage. But she understands the deeper truth. Other people's noise does not define her destiny. And so, instead of reacting to every opinion, she chooses her battles carefully. She saves her energy, not to silence the crowd, but to strengthen her own journey. Think of a woman at her workplace. She works hard, she gives her best, but there are colleagues who constantly criticize, who try to pull her down, who make unnecessary remarks. Now, she has two options. She can spend hours arguing, defending, and proving them wrong, or she can stay silent, let her work speak louder than their noise, and allow God to take care of what she cannot. The smart woman always chooses the second path. She understands that silence is not weakness, it is wisdom. Silence does not mean surrender, it means strength. This is why the secret of her life is not in how loudly she answers the world, but in how peacefully she carries herself. She knows that when you stop giving attention to noise, the noise slowly dies. Arguments need fuel. Without your reaction, they fade away. Criticism needs your anger. Without it, the critic feels powerless. A smart woman knows this art. She knows that every time she chooses peace, she is not only protecting her dignity, but also saving her energy for the things that truly matter. And what are those things that matter? They are her dreams, her growth, her happiness, her connection with God, and her inner stability. She invests her energy where it multiplies, not where it is wasted. Instead of exhausting herself in proving she is right, she invests her energy in becoming better. Instead of wasting her time fighting small battles, she focuses on the bigger victories of her life. There's a powerful example in everyday life. Imagine a mother raising children. The children argue, fight, and complain. If she tried to answer every argument, every complaint, she would be drained by noon. But a smart mother knows when to stay quiet, when to simply smile, and when to guide gently. By choosing peace, she doesn't lose control, she actually gains respect. The children, over time, realize her silence carries wisdom. This applies to every area of life. In friendships, when people misunderstand you, a smart woman doesn't rush to explain herself to everyone. She understands that those who truly know her heart don't need explanations, and those who demand explanations may never understand, no matter how much she says. In relationships, when anger rises, she doesn't shout louder to win the argument. Instead, she lowers her voice, brings calmness, and wins the heart. In society, when people throw judgments, she doesn't fight every voice. She walks with grace, letting her actions answer louder than her words. Peace is not weakness. Peace is power. It takes far more strength to stay calm than it does to react in anger. It takes far more wisdom to walk away from pointless battles than to win them. And it takes far more courage to trust God with your battles than to fight them all yourself. That is why the secret of a smart woman is this: she chooses peace over noise. She knows that peace is the absence of arguments. It is the presence of clarity. Peace is not the lack of challenges. It is the strength to face them with grace. Peace is not running away from the world. It is walking through the world without letting it disturb your inner calm. And if there is one lesson we can all take from her life, it is this: you don't always need to shout to be heard. You don't always need to fight to win. Sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do is stay calm, stay centered, and let your peace speak louder than the world's noise. One of the greatest powers a woman can hold is knowing her worth without waiting for someone else to confirm it. The world often measures people in likes, followers, compliments, and applause. But a smart woman does not build her confidence on the fragile foundation of other people's opinions. She knows her value even when nobody claps for her. She understands that her worth is not dependent on what others think, but on who she truly is and the God-given strength she carries within. Think about it. How many times do we find ourselves waiting for approval? We dress a certain way and wait for someone to say, "You look nice." We work hard on a project and wait for someone to say, "You did great." We take a step forward in life and wait for people to say, "We are proud of you." But what if those words never come? Does it mean we are not valuable? Absolutely not. A smart woman understands this deeply. She does not rely on external applause to validate her internal strength. Consider the story of a student preparing for exams. She studies day and night while her classmates laugh, go out, and waste time. Nobody praises her in those moments. In fact, some even mock her for being too serious. But the day results are announced. Her hard work shines brighter than any compliment she could have received along the way. That's the truth of life. Approval may not come immediately. Sometimes it may never come at all, but your value is not lost. A smart woman remembers that even when the world is silent about her efforts, God sees and her worth remains untouchable. In daily life, people often seek validation through social media. A picture without enough likes feels unworthy. A post without enough comments feels unnoticed. But imagine a smart woman who uploads nothing for attention, yet she still feels complete because her happiness is not trapped in numbers. She knows she is beautiful, strong, and capable whether 10 people acknowledge it or none at all. Her mirror becomes her approval, her conscience becomes her guide, and her connection with God becomes her source of strength. Let's look at relationships. Many times, Women sacrifice their own identity just to be accepted. They lower their dreams, shrink their personality, and silence their voice just to fit into someone else's expectations. But a smart woman chooses differently. She respects others, yes, but she never loses respect for herself. She doesn't need constant reassurance to feel loved. She knows that true love does not demand her to shrink, it allows her to grow. And because she values herself, she never begs for attention. She naturally attracts respect. Imagine a workplace scenario. There is a woman who gives her best in every project, while others constantly look for approval from the boss, trying to impress. She remains focused on the quality of her work, even if recognition takes time. She doesn't doubt her abilities. She knows her worth is not tied to how quickly people notice her. Over time, her consistency speaks so loudly that even those who ignored her can no longer deny her value. This is the strength of a smart woman, patience rooted in self-belief. The beauty of valuing yourself without needing approval is freedom. It frees you from the prison of people's opinions. You are no longer controlled by their likes and dislikes, their temporary judgments, or their changing moods. You stand strong because your foundation is within. Just like a tree does not beg the sun to shine, it simply grows knowing the light will come. A smart woman grows confident that her worth is constant regardless of who notices. And here is something powerful. When a woman values herself, others begin to value her more. When she sets healthy boundaries, people learn to respect them. When she says no with confidence, people stop taking her for granted. When she carries herself with dignity, even her silence commands attention. By refusing to beg for approval, she teaches the world how she deserves to be treated. In friendships, a smart woman doesn't chase people who walk away. She doesn't beg for company just to avoid loneliness. She knows her worth is not reduced by the absence of others. She finds joy in her own presence, strength in her solitude, and peace in knowing that God has created her whole, not incomplete. That is why when people come into her life, she welcomes them with love, but when they leave, she lets them go with grace. Her worth is not up for negotiation. This way of living makes her unshakable. Because when storms of criticism come, she is not shaken. When the winds of rejection blow, she stands tall. And when the clouds of judgment gather, she still shines, because her light does not depend on the approval of others. It comes from within. The truth is, approval is temporary, but self-worth is eternal. Applause fades, but dignity lasts forever. Compliments may stop, but inner confidence never has to. A smart woman builds her life on the unshakable belief that she is valuable not because of what the world says, but because of who she truly is. And so she lives with freedom. She smiles without waiting for permission. She dreams without waiting for support. She grows without needing to be noticed. She shines because she knows. The sun doesn't ask anyone if it should rise. It simply rises. A smart woman knows something very important in life. The heart and the mind are like two wings of a bird. If you try to fly with only one wing, you will never take off. You will only go in circles. But when both wings move together, you rise higher than you ever imagined. In the same way, if you live only by emotions, life becomes chaotic. And if you live only by logic, life becomes cold. A smart woman understands that the real beauty of life is in balancing both. The wisdom of the mind with the compassion of the heart. Think about it for a moment. The heart feels, the mind thinks. The heart says, forgive. The mind says, be careful. The heart says, dream big. The mind says, be practical. If you listen to only one, You will either become too vulnerable or too rigid. But a smart woman knows when to listen to her heart and when to follow her mind. She has mastered the art of harmony between the two. Take a simple example from daily life. Imagine a woman with a friend who has betrayed her trust. Her heart says, I still love my friend, I should forgive. Her mind says, be wise, don't allow the same mistake to hurt you again. Now, if she listens only to her heart, she may forgive without caution and get hurt again. If she listens only to her mind, she may cut the friend off forever and carry bitterness. But when she balances both, she forgives with kindness, yet sets boundaries with wisdom. This balance allows her to heal without being harmed again. That is the mark of a smart woman, softness with strength. The world often tells women two extremes, either be emotional or be practical. But a truly smart woman refuses to be trapped in extremes. She knows there is power in emotions. They give her compassion, warmth, and connection. She also knows there is power in logic. It gives her clarity, direction, and strength. When she combines both, she becomes unstoppable. Her heart keeps her human, and her mind keeps her grounded. Look at her role as a mother. A child asks for something, say endless hours on the phone. Her heart feels love and wants to say yes. Her mind knows discipline is needed and wants to say no. If she follows only the heart, the child grows spoiled. If she follows only the mind, the child grows distant. But a smart mother balances both. She gives love generously, but she also applies discipline firmly. The child grows with warmth and with values. That is wisdom in action. Or think of her as a professional in the workplace. A colleague makes a mistake. Her heart says, be kind, everyone makes errors. Her mind says, this could affect the whole project. If she chooses only the heart, she may overlook serious issues. If she chooses only the mind, she may appear cold and harsh. But when she balances both, she corrects the mistake with firmness, yet delivers the correction with empathy. That balance inspires respect. People don't just listen to her, they trust her. This balance also shows in her personal dreams. Her heart may say, start a business, chase your passion, travel the world. Her mind may say, what about money, stability, and security? Many people get stuck in this tug of war, either living recklessly by following only passion or living fearfully by following only caution. But a smart woman knows how to blend both. She listens to her heart's dreams, but plans with her mind's wisdom. She dares to dream, but she also prepares for the risks. That is why her journey looks courageous yet steady. This harmony between heart and mind is not always easy. It takes awareness, patience, and faith. Many people swing between extremes, too emotional one day, too rigid the next. But a smart woman constantly reflects, constantly checks within, am I being too soft? Am I being too harsh? Do I need more compassion or more clarity right now?